Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another LeetCode walkthrough. Today we're looking at question 841, keys in rooms. So let's get started. If there are n rooms labeled 0 from n minus 1, and all the rooms are locked except for room 0, your goal is to visit all the rooms. However, you cannot enter a locked room without having its key. When you visit a room, you may find a set of distinct keys in it. Each key has a number on it denoting which room it unlocks. You can take all of them with you to unlock the other rooms. Given an array of rooms, where rooms of I is a set of keys that you can obtain if you visit the room, return true if you can visit all the rooms or false otherwise. Okay, so in example 1, we see that in room 0 we have access to the key 1, and then we can unlock the index of I, and then we can grab key 2, getting to room index of 2, where we grab key 3, and then getting to the last room. So that would return true, being that we can get to all of the rooms. And then in example 2, here we can grab the first key, and then moving on here, we don't actually have access to the key 2, so we would get stuck, and we don't have the key to this this key right here, so that would return false. And then the constraints basically just say that the room size can't be too big, so that's not too important. Okay, so to solve this problem, this is essentially a classic depth-first search algorithm. So essentially what we're going to need to do is create a Boolean array of the size of the adjacency list here, and then we're going to need to enter each room and then set the array of the index that we're at in the Boolean array to true if we have the key that we get. So here we would set the index of the Boolean array of 1 to true, or just to 1, or no, true, and then here we would set 2 to true, and then 3 to true. So then when we loop through the array, we see that all the values are true, meaning that we can access each room. So let's go ahead and write some pseudocode here. So we can create Boolean array, and then we need to run the DFS on that Boolean array, or on the adjacency list, sorry. And we can just build a helper method for that to make it a little cleaner. And then after we get done with the BFS, marking all of the values of true, then we need to loop through, loop through Boolean array, Boolean, okay, wow, and check if all values are true. And then we can return false and true depending on that condition. So let's go ahead and get started with the code here. So first let's create the size of the rooms. So we can say int n equals rooms.size. And that will return the size of the rooms of the adjacency list. And then next let's create the Boolean array. We'll just call it visited. Whoa, having a little trouble here. Okay, and then let's set the Boolean array to the size n, however big the adjacency list is. And then here we can run the DFS. Let's just go ahead and build the method out. And then we can do the helper after. Let's see, we need the access to the room that we're in. So we'll start at 0, and then we need to pass in the adjacency list as well as the Boolean array to keep track of the values we visited and the current room that we're in. And then I think here it says all of the rooms are locked except for room 0, so we can just go ahead now and say that the first value is true because that room is already unlocked, so we can just say the first value is unlocked. Okay, so after we have run the DFS, we can check all of the values in visited and basically return false if one of them is not visited or doesn't equal true. So we can say for each Boolean, we'll call it visit, inside of visited, we can say if not visit, meaning the value is 0. Oops, then we can return false. Or flash A. Probably not that. I don't think that will work. And then if we get to the end of the iteration, then that means all of the rooms have been visited, so we can just return true. Okay, that looks good. And now let's build the helper method down here. So we have our DFS. We can say public void, since we're not returning anything, and we'll just call it DFS. And then we have the int, the current key, we'll call it. And then we have the adjacency list, list of list integer, and we'll call it just rooms. And then finally we have our Boolean array as well that we need to pass in. So we'll just call it visited as well. Visited, I'm having trouble here. Okay, that looks good. Whoops. Okay, that space is staying there. No, it's not, come on. Okay, so essentially what we need to do in DFS is to look in each room in the adjacency list and check if it's not been visited already. And if it hasn't, then we'll mark it as true and then run the recursive call on the next room. So let's go ahead and start that. So essentially what we need to do is just loop through all the values. So we can say for each int, we'll just call it room. In rooms.get, this will give us all of the values in the current index of the adjacency list. So here this would return 1 and 3, or if we're at the second iteration, this we'll get all 3 of these values. So we can get the key that we're currently in. Okay, that looks good. And then if it's not been visited, if not visited the current room that we're in, then we need to visit it. So we can say visited room equals true. And then we need to run the recursive call to make sure that this runs for every element in the adjacency list. So we can pass in the room, and then the adjacency list as well as the Boolean array visit. I'm having trouble spelling that word. Okay. It's all good though. I think that looks good. Let's just double check if visited a room. If not visited a room, mark it as true, then run the DFS. Each room in rooms.getKey. Okay, I think that looks good. So let's go ahead and give this a run to see if we have any errors. And we absolutely do. Look at that. I mean, I've spelled this word wrong about 10 times in a row. Okay, I think this is good. We will see though. And look at that. I mean, that's just, you can't make that up. It's all good though. I think that should be it. If it's not, I'm... why did I say that? Okay, so let's go ahead and submit this. Alright, and we got 0 MS, 100% of users for the runtime, and 70% of the users for memory. So I think this is a good solution. Alright, and I think that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'm going to do plenty more walkthroughs here in the future. If you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments. And I think that's it. So thank you guys for watching, and peace.